Thank you. So this morning we got up at the crack of dawn and I did TV. It was pretty great, really, but I was half dead. I've been fighting a cold for about 3 days, so if I sing any jazz notes tonight, it's jazz, okay? Anyway, how about a question? Anybody got a question they'd like to ask? It gets interesting when you ask a question. It gets really kind of out there. Yeah?
Was Mike Colby really Paul Stanley?
Yes. No. That was just one of those wild things from Studio 54, 1976. Everything was pretty crazy in 1976 in Studio 54. Yeah. So, yeah. Do you have a question?
Will you sing baby songs?
Yeah, we're going to do some. Why, you can just hear the babies? Thank you, sir.
When did Tim leave the Ramones?
When he left organized crime. Yes. Johnny Thunders was in the New York Dolls, and he was a hero of mine. Johnny was like really committed to the East Village, and he was a real rebel. There's a few people in rock and roll that you call rebels, and they always go home at night and feed their cat and go to bed early. Johnny would go out for about 3 weeks and not come home, and the cat would be dead. You know? I mean, Johnny was a real McCoy. He was absolutely dangerous, and he was like a great guy, but he was also he lived right on the edge, and he was a heroin addict, and also, unfortunately, he's dead now. But I rang him up and asked him, I got my office to ring him up. I didn't want to put him on the spot. I asked him to come out and play on the track, and he arrived about midnight in Clinton Studios in Hell's Kitchen in New York City, and he came in with 2 really good-looking women, and he was wearing a pinstripe suit, and he came in walking sideways. He was an amazing guy. I'm glad I got to work with him, but that's my Johnny Thunders story. Yeah. Anybody else would like to have a crack at finding something out that's...
Who's your favorite football club?
Man U, thank you, sir.
Yeah!
Just curious, speaking of the babies, do you ever talk to Ricky Phillips out here?
Ricky Phillips?
He lives in
Yeah, no, I heard he does. No, I got an email about like 6 weeks ago. I'm still pretty tight with Ricky. Yeah, absolutely. When he joined the babies, he would give me something to pal around with, because we weren't that pally, and we never got to be that pally afterwards. But me and Ricky were always really tight. He's good news, you know. He's a really nice guy. Good bass player too. And that ends the questions for you. Oh, hello, sir.
I got one more.
Yeah.
Back in the 80s, I was at Maggie Mason one night down on 6th Street. And you and Neil Schoen walked in and got him on the stage and started playing with the band. And you're kicking the guy's monitor in. Did you ever play that?
I was kicking the guy's monitor in?
Yeah.
Well, you know...
He sounded really good.
Did I? Well, I'm sorry about the monitors then. But there's nothing worse than getting on stage and the monitors are really, you know... Look, this guy is smiling now. See what this is? See what this is? Mr. Boot? Yeah? Mr. Monitor? Yeah, me and Neil used to go out and raise hell kind of thing. Me and Neil were kind of like we were like, you know, the guys that went out and caused trouble. The other guys went home and fed the cat. You know? They're still feeding the cat. Is that it?
I've got one.
Yeah?
The Nebraska contingent over here.
Hey, how you doing?
I understand, or I've read, that you got your professional start at age 10. Is there truth to that? Age 10.
Well, it was more like 12, but I was at a youth club. My brother was playing they call it a gig, but it's like a gymnasium full of, you know, kids, and they're playing like ska music, and everybody's like dressed up in their best, and there's no alcohol. And he was playing a Jimi Hendrix song, and the bass player got out for a drink, and they gave me the bass. He said, just keep your finger on this note and just play it. So that I'm stood there going like, you know, and all the girls turned around and all the guys I was friends with were checking out going, hey man, he's in a band now. I never looked back, really, honestly. Every breath you take, I ain't missing you at all since you've been gone. Got a million of them. Jumping jack flash, it's a gas. Hey Nick, what? Speaking of missing you, we'll play that.